Hello, hello, hello. God bless you. God bless you, and God bless you, and God bless you. This is, sometimes you see the bloopers and stuff happening after the videos and stuff. In some videos, I like that. Like the girl that does this stuff, Heather, in Printify stuff. I like her bloopers after. Oh, this shouldn't work. Oh, that doesn't work. We listen to people, and they listen to us. Life is so interesting. It's fascinating, actually. I like to hear people talk like Walter White, Doug Batchelor, the wonderful people I see on Etsy, the girls, Heather especially. I like to hear stories. Very nice. I see Cody and everything else. Don't curse, Cody. You're such a wonderful person. Don't curse. Cursing takes away from it. But by the time you get this video, if you're another one trying to be uploaded, I'm trying to get it together right now. I'm trying to put it together. So this is the bloopers. You're getting to see. I want you to kind of see the real life thing in the background here. Trying to get it together, putting the books and stuff on the table, trying to cover it up. The sun is coming out, but it's still chilly and windy. So we're trying to block some of it out. And I'm just trying to get things ready here and keep things charged, ready to go. Because you know how it goes. Sometimes it's like, it's real time. Even while recording like that. That's why I can't do live, because we're recording it, but it's like, you got to make sure things a certain way, interruptions. But remember I said, we make videos that are like I keeping it real. So it is what it is. So I'm making a video here talking about, or just talking about life in general. We're going to read from the notebook about the Bible and what's happening in the Bible, in terms of what happened, what Timothy's saying to, what Paul is telling to his son Timothy, as well as to what's happening in the world in general, and also continue with what we talked about in David before, in the 1st and 2nd Samuel. But we're just starting off, you see what happens. So let's see the background. This is the background stuff. It's like, how do you do this? I heard there's a nice feature you can do this on the phones and stuff where you can actually speak it. I'm trying to upload a YouTube video. Please like, share. I'm trying to put this stuff. Please like, share. I'll talk out loud so you can hear what I'm saying. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now, I say this all the time because, they said sometimes people don't realize you actually should say it. So I'm just talking to you while doing it. That reminds me, how do people play piano and talk at the same time or sing? How do you do two at once? It's multitasking. I'm like, but it's a guy. So he's a guy to focus on one thing only. I'm trying something different here, so be with me, okay? You're getting the bloopers in the back. So I'm trying to say, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay? And thank you. Well, here's what I told you to put in the description. So if you can't see it, this is a video about what I just talked about before. And if you know what I'm talking about before, you gotta see the previous video, okay? I just have to put a title on it. I say, I do not know 100% what your life has been like, but I can 100% wish the best for you and your family. And you get typos sometimes, so I gotta check it out. We are living this life in real time. And how will it turn out 1, 3, 10, 20 minutes, days, or years from now? How will it end? What really matters in this life? What have we learned thus far? These are some questions that I, meaning you and me, you and I, often ask ourselves. It's not a totally encompassing list, but a start. So let's prayerfully see where this journey will lead us going into the present/future. Thank you for taking time out to listen, relate, and consider these things as well. Please like, share, and subscribe. Now let's see if the hashtag thing works. Let me see. So I'm put hashtag, right? So let's see. When I say you can talk about it. Let's see. Where's the mic? There's a mic here. This is amazing. This thing's on the phone, Apple phone. It says, press hashtag FYP. It works. Hashtag inspirational. Hashtag Florida. Hashtag motivational. Hashtag keeping it real. Hashtag I. Hashtag speaking the truth. Hashtag living life. Hashtag a perspective. Hashtag giving God praise. Hashtag real-time talks. Let me stop here. Did it catch it? Yeah, he said it. Yeah. Hashtag FYP. Inspirational, Florida, motivational, keeping it real. He said something about I. He spelled it as I, so he's not perfect. Speaking the truth, live live. As I said, instead of said live in life, he put live in life, which is interesting. I put it in perspective, giving God praise. He cut that real-time talks. It's not bad. He got it pretty good. I. I wonder what that means. I'm going to keep some things here on purpose. That's what happened. I'll put I. Remember, I talked to you as if you're right here with me. So, you were here together. Even if it's a movie, this is a movie, right? The video is taped like 5-10 minutes from now. Just put it here. Just I. And he has some prompts that already gave you some things here. If you can zoom the hashtag, he has some prompts there. So if I put hashtag, it already has a list of something that you do most of the times. All right. Is it the same thing? Let me see. Time talks. So if I type in the hashtag, the symbol, it gives them some things before. Florida, David and Saul. It gives stuff from the last thing. Hash David and Saul, God's word. Let me see, is it God's word? I'll get to that. It's not fully God's word yet, but I want to, in scripture, I'll put it in God's word, but I'm putting that in King David, Bible, inspirational wallpaper. It's not the one I want to talk about, but I want to, if I mention more, I'll say, let's say, I put hashtag backyard. I put hashtag walking video, little things. I don't. Is it working? I don't know. Maybe, may not. I mean, hashtag. Sometimes I'm like, what do you really put as a hashtag? Or even like when you try to do the business, SEO. What is the perfect SEO? I don't know. So what I have so far: hashtag inspiration, hashtag FYP, inspirational, hashtag Florida, hashtag motivational, keeping it real, I speaking the truth. I gotta get this extra word here, right? This is getting to see the background stuff. Speaking the truth, live in life. As perspective, giving God praise, real time backyard. What else can I put? What else can I put? If I want to tell people what I'm trying to say, trying to get more people to view it and watch it, what can I put? Let's see. You guessing what I'm going to say next. The video playing after and see what did he put in there. So I do watch the hashtag and what people put sometimes. Some people put like 1 or 2 hashtags only for the videos. They have like millions of views. I'm like, what did they put? Am I doing it wrong? How do they get millions of views? But just 1 or 2 words. They put like maybe a video about they put something like saying maybe like Donald Trump, or put something like elections, and thousands and thousands of views. But I put this, I maybe get 2, 3, 4, 5 views. Look at my channel, it's like only a few views here and there. Why so much views? And they say, is it monetized? It's monetized for everything, because I don't know what will come out, what will be the video we'll make next. Honestly, sometimes I just make them by the grace of God and just what we see as important, you know. But it could be different for you, and but it's like we have to be monetized, because honestly, not for free. I gotta pay the phone bill. I gotta pay for everything else. Am I getting paid to make the videos? No, at this point, no. Am I getting anything from it? No royalties. I get some comments here and there, and I try to answer back as many as possible. But we're not making anything from YouTube, anything. They're not paying us anything right now. They're taking the content and hoping to have it there available for anyone to watch and to see and to, learn and share. But I'm not making anything from them. And if they were paying us at this point, I'm not making money on that. Which will be making money on? The religious stuff, the visions, the adventures, the hobbies, the list. I don't know. So I'm just making my own stuff here and just saying what works, So I say, I just keep it. I just keep it real. So I put hashtag Bible Talks. Bible Talks. I don't know what he may come out as. Hashtag Bible Talk. Okay? But I'm just saying, it's like, what's the best way to do it? Anybody? I mean, people give comments, you need to do this. Like when I did the pressure washing, you do this, it's just hard. I hope you have insurance. I'm like, yeah, we have insurance. But at the same time, it's like they were commenting about something. They were not there to see and witness what was going on. It came out fine. The guys, they love the pressure washing. They love the landscaping as it does. So I said, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and you have to answer back nicely and kindly and civilly. Though sometimes people answer people rough and rude back, and it's like people are like, yes, it's good stuff, hardcore, it's realism, yeah, man. But then again, God said, let your words always be seasoned, beautiful. Be in season, out of season. You have to answer back thing. Am I perfect? No. Do I make mistakes? Yes. Am I the nicest person all the time? Yeah, I can't lie. I try to be, but I can be tired and fatigued and upset and frustrated about stuff, about life. And I can, I won't curse. I refuse to curse. I don't drink. I don't smoke. But I could say things that are kind of blunt. Some people say, it's kind of harsh, man. How is it so harsh if you just tell people no? Oh, yes. But it depends what you tell them that for. But so it's not perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be, but I do want to be perfect as God is. I want to only teach and do what God is asking. So I'll try. So finish that part. So now, let's get a title. So it says, this is me. I keeping it real, right? I call the title A Relatable Perspective. And I'm going to make it public now. It's going to come up in a few minutes. I'm trying to see. Is that enough? I don't know. I didn't even put a screen cover thing. People say, put a nice thumbnail. I'm like, I just leave it in God's hands. If you want to see it, by the grace of God, you'll find it. I just put upload. So it's going to upload. And what I want to put to you is one I saw yesterday, the one I was looking at. This is some of the stuff I'm giving you when stuff I was watching. I don't know if you can see it there. There's a winter storm be hitting it. The one I want to talk about is the one I mentioned in the other video about, and I'll put it later. It's about the first emperor of China and stuff, and see. Because it seems like after everything he did, all the accomplishments, all the achievements they have in their life, all the things they want to just subdue, they want to be the main ruling power in the whole world. And at the end of it, He had it all, just like Nebuchadnezzar and Media Persia and all these other countries, all the other world kingdoms and the empire and the pharaohs. But yet when it comes down to it at the end, what they couldn't have is eternal life. Well, here's the thing. They could have eternal life, but only through Jesus Christ. Only through the man, Jesus Christ. God, Jesus Christ, the intercessor, the only one. But they try to have it by trying to search for things in the world and even try to drink things like mercury and tablets and all these different pills and all these things they did. People searching for things. And when he died, he didn't just die alone. They buried him together with all of his wives and concubines, girlfriends, all the people who help him, his staff, thinking that he'll have life in the afterlife. What about the pharaohs? Are there people who will live life trying to take life with them? Meaning they took other people's lives in there, thinking that they'll have life in the other life. But now we see the mummies and the tombs and everything, and we got the people and the stuff, and we get the bodies out, and look at them, and wrapped up here, or they this. Some of them took out their organs, put it aside. All these attempts to have eternal life apart from God. And look what, now we're looking at them thousands of years after and saying, what did they find? What did they unearth? Did it work? No, it didn't. I should have paused longer, right? Did it work? For emphasis, right? No, it didn't. Why? Because God said he's the God of the living, not of the dead. Because the dead know not nothing. The dead are asleep in the grave. A nice way of putting in God's word. Because you don't... if we said the people who say life after death, they come back. Where the pharaohs now come back and talking to us now that was supposedly there, other than the witches and the devils coming back in manifest form? They're asleep in the grave. Their time has come and gone. And this is our time. I was gonna put that part in the video and said, our time. But I'm like, what will be the catchy phrase? Sometimes a phrase can make it and see it, you know, a phrase or the timing of the video, when the video is made, or a suggestion or some thumbnail. What will catch it? I don't want to put thumbnails that's just pretend. I'll just put something that's part of the video, you know, to make it real. But that's the thing. We're all searching for eternal life. We're searching for answers. We want answers to how to live the best life possible. How to have, well, in one case, how to be rich, how to not be poor, or how to survive, how to make it, how to be content, how to be loved, how to not have what, how to not be bad. Put it nicely. We all want something more. We all want something in general. What about wants and needs? What do we need? We have a lot of desires and wants. We need the desire of ages. We need God. Keep it simple. We need God. So we're gonna get right into it then. I know it's a little time taking it, but I want you to kind of see some of the workings in the background. I'll cover the speaker here because it might get warm and the sun is shining on us. It's a Noda brick. I'm gonna turn it on, turn my things off. It's a Noda brick. It's a nice little thing. Like when it starts up, it's connected. And you see the connections back here. So I'm gonna turn my notifications off. I'm gonna have it there to speak. We want to read about Timothy, 1 Timothy. How far we got up into the Samuel part about David? We stopped when Absalom died, right? When Absalom was caught with his heirloom into the tree, into the branches. Joab was told not to kill him, but Joab didn't listen. Was it Abner? Joab or Abner? I always get them mixed up. Let's make sure I get it right. 1 Samuel. But before we do all this, let's before we get into the word itself, because that's just me talking before my stuff. Let's say a prayer to start this off, because God knows we need help. We need guidance and inspiration. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask you, Lord, to please join us. Please help us, guide us, touch our hearts, our minds. Help us to understand your holy word. Help us to understand what to say and how to say it, so that you may reach the hearts of someone or some people, someone, including ourselves, that it may edify your name. I am not a pastor per se, Lord. You know who I am. I'm not perfect. I have my own shortcomings and failings. I'm far from where I should be, but I'm humbly asking you, Lord, to come into my life and make me as you'd have me to be. And Regina is here also, helping to make the videos. Help us, Lord, to be your willing and humble servants to teach, help others. And all those who have helped us in the videos, all those who have spread the videos, all those who have shared them, we thank you, Lord, for what they've done and how much they've helped us to be where we are today in this life by your mercy. We ask you, please, Lord, help us to continue to give the trumpet the proper sound, that those who need to hear it will hear it. Not my words per se, but what you have instructed for them to learn through your holy word. You can use anyone, Lord, even a donkey. So if you use the donkey, I'm asking you to humbly use me as well, Lord, by your mercy. Just let me pray. Amen. Even a donkey. That's the story of Balaam. Even a donkey. So I'm trying to see 2 Samuel. Was it about Abner? I always mix it up. Nathan rebukes David. Absalom slays Ammon. The wise woman of Tekoa, David's flight, return when Absalom tried to he'll take over the the throne from his father. Return to the ark. David crosses Jordan. Defeat of Absalom's army. Joab. Yes, it's Joab. My mom mixed up Joab and Abner, so it's Joab. That was there to see how Absalom died. And if you know what's happening, look back in the story of David and what's happening there. Should we finish it? We stopped at that part. Joab kills him. Sheba's revolt. Master's tardiness. Sheba beheaded. Hanging of Saul's sons. Maybe we should finish it. There's only a few more chapters, right? So maybe we'll finish that part first, because we need to hear the rest. So Joab, okay, so David's lament. David cried for Absalom when he died. Maybe let's do that. Let's keep it in a sequence, right? So you have a better idea. The other video come up in between, talking about what's going on. It's still uploading. Let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 19. So David was crying for him. The king said, "This young man Absalom safe." Okay, 2 Samuel, King James Version. This is one of the big Bibles here. Let me see if I give you like a title description, because I like how they do this. It's a heritage Bible. It gives a little description of what it's about. It says, 2 Samuel says, incorporating the annals of the royal household, chapters 9 to 20, along with other records of the king's court, the most realistic historical epic from the ancient world is developed about the personality of Israel's greatest king. That was David. David thereby became not only the basis for the evaluation of kingship, but also the prototype for later messianic idealization. That's an interesting summary. A lot of big words, very interesting how it's put together there. I'm gonna try to be likewise. So let's do this. Let's finish this one on David. If we go to the next one, and then David has a lot to add to it too. I'm gonna let the notebook play. I'm just gonna be back here and add some things here and there, and so on and so on. So let me get my Bible app. Get it all to the Bible app. Where we at? Bible app. Give me, please. I'm going to go here. I want to get Bible app here, and you can also find the words and the writings of E.G. White, Ellen G. White, which with a lot of these books here, Prophets and Kings and Last Day Events, the 5 Ages, and the Great Controversy. She did some amazing writing and giving us God's word for the time of the struggle between good and evil and Christians in this time. Lord, we need her help. You know, she's sleeping in the grave right now, and they've tried to tamper and mess with her stuff, her work. Ellen G. White, Ellen Gould White, but by the mercies of God, she got it done. And we need to get our part done too. So we want to get the first. Let me show the books of the Bible so people understand. So for those who are just looking into it, oops, go back where it is. Okay, go back where it is. So let's go. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, Chronicles, 1st and 2nd, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. That ends the first part of the Bible, the Old Testament. She named some of her kids like that, right? And these guys, prophets, they have some amazing work. But if you read the Old Testament, New Testament, the Old Testament is very blunt and direct. And it's, how would I put it? In my own opinion, it's like God is there pursuing us to help us and to tell us, consider what you're doing. He's telling us, watch what you're doing. I'm here. Remember me. He's intervening. He's telling them. He's showing them. He's guiding them. He's giving them blessings. Stuff. But human being is asking and doing some things. Joshua asked for the sun to stand still for a while. You know, Moses and them. Human beings are doing the work per se, while God is giving them guidance on how to do the work when they're doing it right, and how God is telling them no, not to do that when they do it wrong. What happened to human beings doing things to other human beings, and how we see how it resolved? Now go to the New Testament of Matthew onwards. Jesus came to show the world who he is. Remember he said in John says he came unto his own received them not, because their works were evil and his was good. He came and showed them how things were to be done, how God really wanted to be done, by showing an example of how God would do it if he on earth with us, because he was here with us and he's here with us every day. It showed us that way. And it's like, so Jesus now did it, and then he left us back with Acts of the Apostles, and the apostles then carried it forward. So first is mankind in all different forms and varied things. From what I'm seeing, my opinion. Then Jesus came and said, no, you did some things good, but some things bad. Let me show you how it is. This is the new covenant. Him. Jesus came and showed us how to live. And he said, I'm going to give it, how he blessed the food, the bread and the fish, and loaves of fish, and give it to the disciples. Given to the disciples now the word in Jerusalem. Say, listen, now go and spread the message to the other people, to the rest of the world now. And they did. And it wraps up at the end when with Revelation of John giving the last chapter of what's happening about Jesus Christ. And yet the whole Bible is about Jesus Christ and us. Now we see in the holiday time, they call Emmanuel, God with us. Yeah, he is Emmanuel, God with us. Man, El, God. He is here with us. He was with us. If you know the Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, how it is, I don't know. All I know is that the word El means God and man means mankind. I learned about Bathsheba last time. Her name was Bath. And she got in trouble after taking a bath naked on top of the house. Bathsheba. No, what that means, you gotta look at the previous videos. I try to number them so you can figure out. Maybe I'll put a number in this one to kind of see where we kept that, where we starting up from. But it's very interesting what's going on. So let's go to this. I'm gonna go. Oh, let's finish that. New Testament, starting from Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1st and 2nd Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, 1st and 2nd Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1st and 2nd Peter, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John, Jude, Revelation. 66 books in the Bible. And some of the Bibles try to add stuff to it. This is the King James Version. Some of the Bibles, they add the Apocrypha and other stuff in it. And it's like they just kind of plagiarize or copied forms of the Bible and put it together. Remember, all these supposed to be from the Dead Sea Scrolls and inspired writings. All I know that, by the grace of God, we have His Word here. Despite how they try to muddy up the waters and try to change this stuff and take it all away, God's Word is coming true. God's Word is working beautifully and perfectly, and I love it because I need it. I'm not perfect, and I can see my character, myself, for looking outside. And you probably see yourself like that too. God's Word changes us. It makes us, it calms me down. It tells me, hey, you have to answer to a high authority when everything is going on. You have to answer for so much you're doing and what you're thinking and what you're saying. I told you, be keeping it real and making it practical. God's Word says you must understand who you are. You must be who you're supposed to be. Stop trying to be like everybody else and emulate them. Follow Him. Be His character. Reflect His image. So by His mercy, we're trying. So join us. Let's try together, okay? So let's go to Old Testament. Let's go to Old Testament. Finish in 2 Samuel, chapter 19, to continue what it is. And let's see what he says. 2 Samuel, chapter 19. He's going to go up to chapter 24. And let's hear what is told. Okay, now this is the part where Absalom, David's son, had killed the other son, Amnon, for raping Absalom's sister through a different mother. And David didn't do anything enough. And Absalom felt that this is not right. And Absalom then tried to take over the throne. It's a long, interesting story. He tried to take over the throne himself. And from doing something, suppose he tried to do a good deed to get justice and vengeance for something. He went way beyond into doing something vile and vicious and wicked, into sleeping with David's wives. I mean, you talk about debasing and devilish and wicked, but yet David loved them still. Why? David cried for him and mourned for him. Why? What have you done in your life? What about me? What have we all done? What have humanity done in this life? How many bombs and bullets and destruction and things have we done in this life? What have we done in this life? We can grow nice plants and foods and crops and stuff. Maybe we can also have swords and stab the person right next to us to death. So fearfully and wonderfully made we are. God still loves us so, because if He didn't, you wouldn't hear this video right now. If He didn't, you wouldn't be able to see the sky. We wouldn't have vision in life right now. If He didn't, you wouldn't be able to see and have electricity. You wouldn't have a phone. You wouldn't have anything. If God did not love us, we'd be dead. Okay? Simple. Because the devil's still trying to kill us every minute. Every time he can, he's trying to kill us. And I think since I made that video saying I declare war on the devil, him, he's been declaring war on me. So he's been making my life very tough in a lot of things, including the business making things tough and then things happening. I mean, I got a text yesterday from someone saying, hey, you want to sell your trademark? Oh, is this still up for grabs? Why? Because your thing might have been abandoned. I'm like, my trademark is abandoned. Wow, I didn't do that. Something happened with the USPTO, and my trademark is now up there. I got to go try to see if it's viable still, because it's been abandoned, because they send me emails of the trademark when I wish they would give you some official letter to communicate, but I know they respond to the emails. Why no one told us about this? Trying to start a business by yourself is not easy. A lot of things you don't know. I wish they'd give you the details. How to start a business and to make it run. And this is one business. We're doing kind of like a little print-on-demand / e-commerce, trying to get mobile games made up and stuff for us and selling things. But I'll tell you more on the Sabbath, and you'll see more things later on. But it's under the banner still. Everything is under the banner of Matiby, MATIBY.com and MATIBYETSY.com. You know, and we have another one also with our friend we're working through with. That's Amy's store, called Relatable. REALATABLE.ETSY.com. So we're all working together in collaboration here. And it's like, we're trying to put the scripture into the designs and into the works in some, not all. Some of it is entertainment and action and fun and seasonal and stuff like that. But also, we are a product of what we are, what we consume, what we eat. So if you consume God's word, hopefully into a design, right? Into a shirt or a hoodie, right? And I was wintertime when we were gonna make more warm things though. These hoodies we had now almost a year. Pretty comfy. These are the first iterations. First ones, we wear them all the time to see if they stand up to it. Can they stand up to the test of time? And I'm not giving a promo for my shirt. I'm just saying, as God's word is, we have to try the spirits. We're trying different things. This is what we made initially. So we're making these apparel there. You can look at them and soften them after the Sabbath. Just saying, the hoodies seem to have a lot stronger bonds of the colors and stuff on them. But the shirts seem to look more vintage faster. So we're trying to do that. But God's word, to make it really apply to scripture, has stood the test of time, has not faded. Even though they try to block and stamp it out, it stood the test of time. So I want to be like that. I want our stuff to be like that. All the pharaohs and stuff, all the legacies of all the history and kings before us, the Egyptians and the different people and all the dynasties, they've come and gone. Even the ones that right now on earth, if we live long enough, they'll be come and gone too. What about you and I? Are we gonna be come and gone soon? Who'll be talking about us? What will I say about us? What will I say about you? What are you gonna say about me? He's crazy old man. He just keep talking, rambling on, talking all this stuff. Crazy old man. What he did? He's just talking stuff. Look at his fingers. He all messed up. Got squeezed in the car door, trying to do the work and the pressure wash. No one care. Man, hope the finger don't fall off. Oh, yeah, at least a nail, at least. But it's not hurting anymore. It feels good. I get to see. When you see putting your sweat, blood, and tears into what you do, it's all pain and I think it's blood. This is clotted blood down there. It hurts. So it's pain. So sweat, blood, and tears. Yeah, I do cry sometimes when they say I can't find a business, not making enough money, and I'm suffering. I'm like, oh, I gotta pay bills. So sweat, blood, and tears. What else am I saying? Tears. Yeah, I shed tears when it's not working good. And when times are tough and it's like, oh, it's so hard. But I don't see too much. I gotta cry manly tears. Yeah, am I? Yeah, am I? I'm gonna try to put some tears. Let me start. Yes, it's real. Sweat, blood, and tears into this. And you know what the thing about sleeping on the couch? Excuse me. Sleeping on the couch, trying to make something grow in businesses. Well, we do most of the work in a chair, a couch, or wherever you can do it. But the couch is pretty comfortable. And now, our time, we have a couch here. And then the couch, a lot of work. Even on the kitchen table, trying to make the designs, to list them and publish them and make mock-ups. It's a lot of work to make these things happen. Now I have a new perspective on when people make clothing and apparel, and even all these things they do in books and designs. Entrepreneur, new businesses, new startups. I didn't know it was so hard. That'd be a quick and easy thing. And you make a lot of quick money and then you'll be rich and make the games and be rich and everything else. And instead, the developers didn't do what they're supposed to. Some of them got paid and I paid them too fast instead of waiting for them to do it. But I didn't want to put all our eggs in one basket by staying stuck in one industry. So I tried to spread it out and diversify it. And also try to get multiple developers to do this stuff. And they didn't do what they're supposed to. We have one that's helping us a lot right now. Wonderful gentleman, him and his wife. In a different country, actually, because the ones in America are charging too much, you know. Just to get it there, he has his hands full on that. We're trying to hopefully he'll do that. But a lot of the projects we try to do didn't manifest and happen. Trying to do the lawn care pressure washing, and it's working slowly, organically. Not as fast as I want it to happen. But then I say to myself, you get so busy with some of them sometimes, I'm like, you know, it's best that it's not happening as fast as it could be. Then I'll be so busy, I don't have no time to do any of this stuff. I'm exhausted. So it's going slow here and there, but at the same time, you know, bills don't stop and things don't stop. So and if you change the careers in between, you know you're going to have a drop in your income and all that stuff. So Virginia's picking up the slack. A lot of stuff been happening there in the meantime. We've been working hard and other things, trying to make it happen together. You know, like let the term used, make ends meet. I used to be like, what's that phrase, make ends meet? It's like your income and outgoing must match, you know, what you have coming in must match what's going out. You don't want to overexert yourself and overspend. But then you be, you know, as God said, count the cost. That means you didn't plan well. And say if you don't plan well, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. And I don't want to fail. And none of us want to fail. So we're determined by God's mercy to try to make it happen. We're determined to try to make success happen, even though we're given a bad hand to deal with. Things in the house when the house was built that's falling apart, breaking up now after 2 years, and it's like, hey, tell the developers what's going on. He said, oh, that's another third party, and they're not going to fix it. So we have to fix that ourselves. You know, things that kids, they're not perfect. They're doing their best they can, but sometimes I'm like, are they my kids? You know, that's not easy. And, you know, relationships and families and all that stuff, everything takes work. That's work. And then you got to pay the bills while things happen and the stress. And if you're a guy, you have to deal with guys. stress. And if you're a girl, you have to do it girls' stress, you know. And yet, every time everyone picks up the video and says, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi guys, hi gals. It's a lot of things I gotta tell you guys, but I can't tell you everything because sometimes you gotta zip it. And I'm gonna zip it. So let's hear what God has to say. His turn. God bless you all. But thank you for everything you do, and thank you for liking, subscribing, and for watching. And again, not monetized. Wish you would be, so I can actually do more and be free of this worry and concern. How we'll make it month to month, day to day. But by God's mercies, we make it. So if He keeps us going, I'm good. Let's continue. What does God say about David? Why does God love David so much? And us, put ourselves in David's place, and every character in the story of David, put ourselves in his place and see, why does God love us so much? Let's show.
2 Samuel 19.
2 Samuel 19.
And it was told Joab, Behold, the king weepeth and mourneth for Absalom. And the victory that day was turned into mourning unto all the people, for the people heard say that day how the king was grieved for his son. And the people gat them by stealth that day into the city, as people being ashamed as steal away when they flee in battle. But the king covered his face. And the king cried with a loud voice, O my son Absalom! O Absalom, my son, my son! And Joab came into the house to the king, and said, Thou hast shamed this day the faces of all thy servants, which this day have saved thy life, and the lives of thy sons and of thy daughters, and the lives of thy wives, and the lives of thy concubines, in that thou lovest thine enemies, and hatest thy friends. For thou hast declared this day that thou regardest neither princes nor servants. For this day I perceive that if Absalom had lived, and all we had died this day, then it had pleased thee well. Now therefore arise, go forth, and speak comfortably unto thy servants. For I swear by the Lord, if thou go not forth, there will not tarry one with thee this night. And that will be worse unto thee than all the evil that befell thee from thy youth until now.
So what he's saying is like, David, why are you crying for your enemies? Why are you crying for your son that was trying to kill you and kill your whole family and going to kill all of us? Why are you crying for him? Have anybody ever accused you of something that they may or may not be correct on? Why are you crying for them and you're not... People died in this battle. People could have got hurt from this battle, and you crying for your son Absalom, who's going to kill you and your family. Did Joab know about the story of what happened to Uriah's wife and Uriah's husband? Excuse me, and Bathsheba's husband, Uriah? Did he know about David and what David has done to Uriah's wife and the child that died, the first one, and how David tried to make Uriah drink alcohol to let him get intoxicated to go home and sleep with his wife to cover his own sins? Did Joab know a lot about David? Yeah. Wasn't Joab the one that took the letter given to Uriah himself? Kind of like a dead man's sentence. Give him a letter from David saying, put Uriah in the front of the war, in the hottest place, and when he's battling, pull back from him and let him be killed. So when he dies, then David would then marry the widow, Bathsheba, who would have lost her husband from natural causes or from acts of war heroism to cover his own sin and behavior. Oh man, what is human nature? Joab knew about all that. He also was the one that helped to bring back Absalom back into the kingdom when Absalom was like, hey, I've done this stuff. Why my father doesn't want me to come back and see what happened? Why is he doing? Why is he thinking of me? And Absalom was the one else. He burned part of Joab's field to get Joab's attention. He's doing mischievous stuff. You could have just called a messenger and say, hey, come talk to me. But he did a lot of stuff. And what I'm talking about, you got to read the story. There's a lot of stuff in here. And if I tell you, it wouldn't be as nice as if you read it yourself, because then your imagination works. You haven't seen it. There's no movie about it per se, as detailed as it does in the Bible. And some of them make movies and they add stuff to it, but you need to know what the Bible says. David asked him to spare the young man's life who was messed up, because Absalom kind of went on his own way and didn't listen to his father's advice. And his father couldn't give the best advice he could because he had messed up with Bathsheba. And I think that sin that he did and that rebuke he got from God and Nathan the prophet kind of made him weaker, and that maybe his guilt followed him along all the way. But yet he wrote such beautiful stories in the Psalms. David wrote such beautiful messages in the Psalms. But what happened? Where are the Psalms? Psalms come after. message. Listen a little bit of what David wrote after. This is David who just lost his son, who did a righteous thing, and initially righteous. Maybe not take that liberty to say that. Who did something people would say valiant, but I mean, so one man son raped the daughter, which is wrong, from a different mother, which is wrong, too many wives, and then he brought shame upon the family. He didn't kill her, right? But he kicked her out and made her ashamed. And she came and went to stay by her brother's, her name was Tamar, went to stay by her brother's house instead, Absalom. And then he then took her in to live there. And he had children of his own, Absalom. And he called one of his daughters Tamar, kind of like a tribute to her and respect to her. But we don't hear about Tamar again after the story in this one. But at the same time, he was so angry at, I think, Amnon, David's other son from a different mother, that he had Amnon, Amnon, killed for raping his sister. Was that right, what Absalom did? I know in the beginning I said he did something valiant, but you killed your brother for harming your sister? Yes, you can say his vengeance is justified, but death for tragedy like that, I would not say that's justified. You know, no one should be doing that to anybody, including women that have been so hurt and so treated so roughly by people over the years for being raped and assaulted and all these things. Always bad things happen to women in a lot of conflicts and wars and stuff. Who knows what's happening in Ukraine and other countries right now? What happening to other countries they've been into? What happened in Vietnam and other places? Even in the U.S., what has happened to many things in civil wars? Many things have happened, and women tend to get the brunt of it all. They tend to want to assault and harm women. And the men, we should be defending the women at all costs. Even if it means a life and death situation, we must defend them at all costs, and our daughters, and our sons. But especially women and children. We're not to let these ravages, these wolves do this to our women. And what about this thing, people come across the board and doing this and harming and attacking women and assaulting them again? Are we just sitting by idly? We're ready to go fight and brawl into parking lots and games over stuff. Somebody scratching our car, scratching the paint of our stuff, or looking at our wives or looking at our girlfriends funny. But we hear about these things about people doing harm to the women, and we're just like, it's not right. So going back to this story though. But going back to that story, men, we need to stand up and be men again. We need to do what we're supposed to do, what God made us to do. We need to be like God. Okay? Not to be like gods ourselves, but we need to be as God. We need to defend the defenseless, defend the widow, defend the children, defend the unborn. Defend that. Not to go take their life of the other people who may do it tragically, you know, like do abortions and stuff, you know? But to speak up. Say something. Be not like dumb dogs. Be not like muzzled dogs when they try to put the mask on our face with the COVID thing. That was one of their plans, muzzle us up. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Read about Plandemic, the series. Or watch the videos. Plandemic, Plandemic, the series, TheSeries.com. By Mickey Rourke. You hear a lot of stuff there. This was planned. This was orchestrated. This was planned. And they're planning more still. Are we going to sit by idly again, men and women and children? Red, yellow, black, and white. Are we all going to sit back and watch it happen to us again? What they did to us before? Remember Vera Sherrill's video, Never Again Is Now? Are we going to sit down and watch it happen again? What about the Holocaust? Are we going to sit back and watch it happen again? We're going into Armageddon. We're going into a serious battle. We're in the last day events of fighting for our lives against these devils and demons. Against the New World Order and other people trying to destroy us. Council on Foreign Relations, World Economic Forum, all this different stuff. UN. The UN, is it really of God? No. World Health Organization of God? No. The AMA of God? No. They're not of God. So, man, we listen to these stories and it goes, oh, religious people, Christians, why listen to these stories? Oh, I told you, we're going to keep it practical. Real day events linked together with past events. We're here living our life and saying, well, we're going to do such and such and such and such. What are we doing? What have we done? What should we be doing? Men need to be men again. Women need to be women again. And for women who are being women right now and being strong as they are right now and holding the torch high and standard, God bless you. For men who are standing strong, holding the torch high and protecting the family, everybody else, God bless you. For those who are not, get going. We got to get going. Not going to be no wimpy Pamby over here crying, yeah, no. Man up. Okay, let's go. So this same David, who'd been through a lot, strong, valiant soldier, fighting hard, but yet he cried for his son Absalom, who did wrong things because of how he was conditioned. By what? And the instigator that made Absalom so vexed, the friend of Amnon that made Absalom mess up, I don't see any charges brought against him. Who knew? He just kind of threw the rock and left. He told Amnon to go do that and to plan to do this, sleep with Absalom's sister. And you think the Bible is boring? You read anything? Yeah, boy. Well, we got to get into it. So here's a little bit of David's Psalms that David wrote. Just listen to these words, and just see if you can understand. I'll also read a little smattering, right? I'll go from the beginning. First one, David wrote the Psalms, right? In chapter 1. Some people say the Psalms, you have to read it in lyrical pose, on song. David, this is what he says. I'm just going to jump around a little bit. Just a little bit. Give me who this David is, because I don't even know who David's character is. David 1. Psalms 1. Not David 1. Psalms 1. Psalms, he says here, the Psalter, like any hymn book, is a composite of thought, emotion, and spiritual sensitivity, expressed in a variety of form and rhythm. Its units cover the whole range of Israelite religiousness, right? During the period from the advent of the monarchy with its chapel to the establishment of the second temple without a king. So he covers the whole history of David and the other kings after him, Solomon and everybody else, and even to Jeroboam and Ahab, all this different stuff to the kings. And then they were finally conquered and taken over by Babylon. It's a lot of stuff here. That's what he says. Psalms 1, happiness of the godly. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters, and bringeth forth his fruit in due season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The one who loves God. Unhappiness of the ungodly. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. This is what David wrote, the same one. And then he says here in verse chapter 2, why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves and their rulers take counsel together against the Lord and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto him in his wrath, and vex them in his sore displeasure. God standing up. What else did David write? David's prayer to audience. He's saying to God, Psalm chapter 4, hear me when I call, O God, of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer, O ye sons of men. How will ye turn my glory into shame? How long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? Selah. Trust in the Lord. But know that the Lord hath set apart him that is godly for himself. The Lord will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe and sin not. Commune with your own heart upon your bed, and be still. Selah means pause. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness, and put your trust in the Lord, David is asking us to do. There be many that say, who will show us any good? Question mark. Lord, lift up the light of thy countenance upon us, please. Thou hast put gladness in my heart, more than in the time that their corn and their wine increaseth. I will both lay me down in peace and sleep. For thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. This is David talking to God. Wow. The wicked and favored, chapter 5 says, give ear to my words, O Lord, consider my meditation. Hearken unto the voice of my cry, my King and my God. For unto thee will I pray. My voice shalt thou hear in the morning. O Lord, in the morning will I direct my prayer unto thee, and will look up. For thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. Some people say, what bad things happen to good people? And God sustain my settle idly? No, he says, for thou art not a God that hath pleasure in wickedness. So God does not like wickedness happen to good people. Neither shall evil dwell with thee. God is not evil. So God, he knows that already. The foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. Okay? And Shufla, be away. Thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. But as for me, David saying, I will come into thy house in the multitude of thy mercy. Means like us, we're begging God for mercy upon us. And in thy fear will I worship toward thy holy temple. Lead me, O Lord, in thy righteousness, because of mine enemies. Make thy way straight before my face, Lord, please. For there is no faithfulness in their mouth. Their inward part is very wickedness. Their throat is an open sepulchre. They flatter with their tongue. Destroy thou them, Lord. He's saying, punish the wicked, please. What we're asking God to do, right? Punish them, please. Destroy thou them, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. I'm talking about what David's character was like. What is he asking about? This same David is crying for his son Absalom. What was David like? Destroy them, O God. Let them fall by their own counsels. Cast them out in the multitude of their transgression, for they have rebelled against thee, O Lord. But let all those that put their trust in thee rejoice. Let them ever shout for joy, because thou defendest them. Let them also that love thy name be joyful in thee. For thou, Lord, wilt bless, you see the word wilt, W-I-L-T, wilt bless the righteous. With favor wilt thou compass him as with a shield. Love those words. Chapter 6, David complains, yet triumphs over his enemies. O Lord, rebuke me not in thine anger, David asked God. Neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure, David asked God. Have mercy upon me, O Lord, for I am weak. O Lord, heal me, for my bones are vexed. My soul is also sore vexed. But thou, O Lord, how long? Question mark. Return, O Lord, deliver my soul. O save me for thy mercy's sake. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. When we die, there's no remembrance. It's gone. It's over. We're sleeping. In the grave, who shall give thanks unto thee, O Lord? David's asking God. He knows when you die, that's it. How long shall we live and die? When are we going to die? Come on, if you're alive now, give him praise. Here he says here. For in death there is no remembrance of thee. In the grave, who shall give thee thanks? I am weary with my groanings. All the night make I my bed to swim. I water my couch with my tears. He's crying. Why is he crying? Why is David crying? Mine eye is consumed because of my grief. It waxed old because of all mine enemies. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity, for the Lord hath heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord hath heard my supplication. The Lord will receive my prayer. Let all mine enemies be ashamed and sore vexed. Let them return and be ashamed suddenly. Now I can go on and on for this. Let's see what else he talks about. Let's jump over here in 9. Praise of God for executing judgment. I want to talk about who David's character is. You want to know what the read is? This is Psalms written after Old Testament, after this part of Samuel, 2 Samuel. What is David like? Psalm chapter 9. It says, Psalm of David, I will praise thee, O Lord, with my whole heart. I will show forth all thy marvelous works. I will be glad and rejoice in thee. I will sing praise to thy name, O thou most high. When mine enemies are returned back, they shall fall and perish at thy presence. For thou hast maintained my right and my cause. Thou sattest in the throne judging right. Thou hast rebuked the heathen, and thou hast destroyed the wicked. Thou hast put out their name forever and ever. O thou enemy, destructions are come to a perpetual end. I'm talking about Satan, I bet you. And thou hast destroyed cities. Their memorial is perished with them. But the Lord shall endure forever. He hath prepared his throne for judgment, and he shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in righteousness, in uprightness. The Lord also will be a refuge for the oppressed, a refuge in times of trouble. And they that know thy name will put their trust in thee. For thou, Lord, hast not forsaken them that seek thee. Sing praises to the Lord, which dwelleth in Zion. Declare among the people his doings. When he maketh inquisitions, let's get the word right. When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembered them. He forgetteth not the cry of the humble. That's God. And say God doesn't care. God does care. David said he does care. Have mercy upon me, O Lord. Consider my trouble. That's how we should be begging and praying to God and having a talk with God. We need God. We cannot do it on our own. Have mercy upon me, O Lord. Consider my trouble, which I suffer of them that hate me. Thou that liftest me up from the gates of death. I mean, God's all saving us at the last, even at the last brink, right? That I may, when we drive, when we fly, when we go wherever we go, death can come to us at any moment. Bombs and bullets everywhere. But God saved us. Why? David's asking, please, Lord, save me, that I may show forth all thy praise in the gates of the daughter of Zion. I will rejoice in thy salvation. The heathen are sunk down in the pit that they made. In the net which they hid is their own foot taken. The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higion. I don't know what that word means. Selah. 17. The wicked shall be turned into hell, and all the nations that forget God. So we don't want that pronouncement. Verse 17. 18. For the needy shall not always be forgotten. God doesn't forget his people. The expectation of the poor shall not perish forever. I mean, though he says, why are we still poor and suffering so long? How long, Lord? How long? How long? They ask about this also in Revelation. How long? David's asking also, arise, O Lord, let not man prevail. Let the heathen be judged in thy sight. Put them in fear, O Lord, that the nations may know themselves to be but men. Straight up. What does it say? Let's go jump another one real quick. We know about Psalms. We always hear about Psalms. We have Psalms 23, right? The Lord my shepherd. What about Psalms 21? Thanksgiving for victory. The king shall joy in thy strength, O Lord, and in thy salvation how greatly shall he rejoice. Thou hast given him his heart's desire, and hast not beholden the request of his lips. For thou preventest him with the blessings of goodness. Thou settest the crown of pure gold on his head. He asked life of thee, and thou givest him, even length of days forever and ever. His glory is great in thy salvation. Honor and majesty hast thou laid upon him. For thou hast made him most blessed forever. Thou hast made him exceeding glad with thy countenance. David has some beautiful stuff here. We know about Psalms. You guys, they love Psalms all the time. You want to hear Psalms? Psalm 23? It's short. Let's read it, right? David's confidence in the grace of God. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil. My cup runneth over. And this is the King James Version. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Wow. You know, it reminds me when you hear people singing songs like Amazing Grace and all this stuff about the songs of the Bible, and they're not fully Christian themselves. I'm like, I'm happy that they're singing it, but sometimes to take credit onto themselves for their lovely voice and the talents that they got, but that's God's gift to them. But then it's like, how can we tell God we love him the right way? I do remember him saying, though, if you love me, keep my commandments. So maybe that's a start. 24. The citizens of God's spiritual kingdom. We're going to go back to David just now. I just want to finish this part. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and the world and they that dwell therein. For he had founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord? Or who shall stand in his holy place? Meaning, who can be worthy to talk to God and to speak to God and to call upon God's name? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessings from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation. I'm telling you, I can't stop because when God's word needs to be read up. I'm like, the old needs to be with the new. I cannot. God's word is just, everything is needed. But I have to control my enthusiasm because it's a lot. We need these things. Verse 6 of chapter 24 of Psalms, King James Version of the Old Testament. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Right? Selah. Pause. 7. Lift up your heads, O you gates, and be ye lift up. Be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors. Remember how Charlton Heston said this. Was it in the Ten Commandments? He said, I remember he said it. Be ye everlasting. They're going to give him praise to God for what he's done. And the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty. The Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is the King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah. Pause. Wow. Listen to this one. Unto thee, O Lord. Chapter 25. Do I lift up my soul? O my God, I trust in thee. Let me not be ashamed. Let not my enemies triumph over me. Yea, let none that wait upon thee be ashamed. Let them be ashamed which transgress without a cause. Why am I reading this? Because we need him. He is the desire of ages. We need these things. You can say, well, listen, you're talking about something else. It all goes together. It's all the same thing. God is speaking. We need to hear what he has to say. Verse 4, chapter 25. Show me thy ways, O Lord. Teach me thy paths. Lead me in thy truth and teach me, for thou art the God of my salvation. On thee do I wait all the day. If you're watching this video and saying, I thought I was going to watch for this and this and this. You never know what you're going to get when God is coming at you with stuff. I didn't plan to read this today, but I see it as a benefit and I want to read it. It's just, I'm going to get back to it, but I'm like, this is just beautiful. Let's hear this. Chapter 20, verse 6. Remember, O Lord, thy tender mercies and thy loving kindness, for they have been ever of old. Somebody say right now, thank you for reading this. I'm like, God bless you. I'm saying thank you for reading, for putting me here, God, so I can understand this. Because I'm feeling it. Pain is here. 7. Remember not the sins of my youth, Lord. Please. Many of us, if we can say sorry for all the stuff we've done, all the bad things we've done in our life, if we can say sorry to all the people we hurt, guys, for all the girls you hurt, girls, for all the guys you hurt, all the things we hurt, and family members, our parents, what we said to them and did to them, and other people, friends, and acquaintances, things we hurt and said. If we could ask for forgiveness and say, Lord, forgive me for them, what I did to them. So friends and family, whoever watching this, I'm sorry. Forgive us. Have mercy upon us. Remember not the sins of my youth, Lord, nor my transgressions. According to thy mercy, remember thou me, Lord, for thy goodness' sake, O Lord. Good and upright is the Lord, therefore will he teach sinners in the way. And every verse could stand by itself as a whole thing on its own. It's perfect. The meek will he guide. Who will guide? God will guide him in judgment. And the meek will he teach in his way. All the paths of the Lord are mercy and truth unto such as keep his covenant and his testimonies. For thy name's sake, O Lord, pardon mine iniquity, for it is great. What man is he that feared the Lord? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. Remember Solomon said also fear God and give glory unto his name? Because that's how, when we fear God, not to be like, ooh, look scared, but to say, I honor and reverence this God who's so powerful. I respect him. That's fear. That's why he said, you fear, but you trust that power. He has guidance. Do you know, I've also heard it said also that if you let children do what they want, when the little kids go what they want to, and just be there with no parental supervision, they will be very bad kids, and you see that too, and they'll be very nervous and erratic. But when someone of authority is in the home, mom or dad, and they tell them things like, you got to go to bed at a certain time, got to go here at some time, got to do some time, they tend to have more peace of mind. They tend to trust that the authoritative figure, the person in their life, is actually in control of it. They sleep better. They have a better upbringing when they get older in life. When a dad does his part, when a mom does her part, and they both do what God has asked them to do, the children are much better off long term. The question we have sometimes is that, did we do what we're supposed to do? That our kids are the way they are? How about your kids? Mine. How about anybody's children that do good or don't do good? You know? It's a lot of things you gotta ask. And these things, when I read these verses, I'm hoping you get the same thing. When you read them, it brings things to mind. It's like, is it well with my soul? What man is he that feareth the Lord? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. Verse 12 of chapter 25 of Psalms. 13. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the earth. The secret of the Lord is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. Mine eyes are ever toward the Lord, for he shall pluck my feet out of the net. Turn thee unto me, and have mercy upon me, for I am desolate and afflicted. The troubles of mine heart are enlarged. O bring thou me out of my distresses. David is praying to God for. Look upon mine affliction and my pain, and forgive all my sins. Somebody's barbecue to cook it. Bringing choke to mama. Excuse me. They're cooking, they're barbecuing back there? Or there's houses across this. They're making a barbecue. The smoke is blowing to my direction and it's choking me. Oh boy. Let me read like this. Let me try to do something to this. Wow. Guess I get choked up about the word, right? Literally, but that wasn't because of I'll just leave it alone. Look upon my affliction and my pain and forgive all my sins, David's asking. Consider thine enemies, chapter 19. Consider all mine enemies, and for they are many, and they hate me with cruel hatred. Verse 20. Oh, keep my soul and deliver me. Let me not be ashamed. And that's why I like Know the Brick. At least it reads without choking, right? But whenever I put it on, it goes with verse to verse. I gotta put it back. But this, you never know what's gonna be read to you, what I'm gonna go to. So just kind of let God lead and put it in my mind, right? Let integrity and uprightness preserve me, for I wait upon thee. Redeem Israel, O God, out of all his troubles. And I'll end that one with Psalms 137, one of my favorites. 137. Because it goes up to 149. 150 it goes up to. How does it end it? Praise ye the Lord, 150. Praise God in the sanctuary. Praise him in the firmament of his power. Praise him for his mighty acts. Praise him according to his excellent greatness. Praise him with the sound of the trumpet. Praise him with the psaltery and harp. Praise him with timbrel and dance. Praise him with stringed instruments and organs. Praise him upon the loud cymbals, and praise him upon the high sound and cymbals. Let everything that hath breath praise the Lord. Praise ye the Lord. That's beautiful. I like 137. Is it 137? No, is it? Is it 138? No, where is it? I might forget the one I used to read. Oh man, that's my favorite one, and I forgot it. 132. Ah. Oh, 139. 139. That's it. Oh, see? It's been so long, but I underlined it. 139 is what I had. Psalm 139. David praises God for his providence and mercies. This is my favorite prayer. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I'll have to read it because the other ones continue where I left off. Oh, Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and mine uprising. Thou understandest my thoughts afar off. Thou compassest my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it altogether. Thou hast beset me behind and before, and laid thine hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high, I cannot attain unto it. Whither shall I go from thy spirit? Or whither shall I flee from thy presence, Lord? If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, thou art there. And when he means hell, doesn't mean hell in of some burning pit under the earth. Hell doesn't exist in the earth like that. It just means if I make my bed in the worst of conditions in this life, you know, including maybe even in the grave, thou art there. If I take the wings, not because he's talking from the dead, he's just saying that if I'm dead, the body goes back, but the spirit goes back to God, the breath, right? And it means more than that, even more, but I won't go into that in detail right now. Just let's focus, go to verse 9. If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me, and thy right hand shall hold me. This is David. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee. It means God is ever present, everywhere, omniscient, right? For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. Thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. He's talking about the unborn, the children that are not born yet on the earth. We all talk about abortion and other stuff, right? God has covered us in the womb. God has put us together. I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. Why? Going back to the abortion issue. Why is David touching on this? Is he giving us some information? Why? What does he say? This one he says here. My substance, who I am, was not hid from thee, when I was made in secret, and curiously wrought in the lowest parts of the earth. How? What does he mean? Thine eyes did see my substance. He knew about us. God knew about us. He made us. He knows everything was going to happen to us. Even when we were born, he's making us as we are. Yet being imperfect. And in thy book, all my members, I knew the time I say someone got dismembered. My members, I mean his parts, his fingers, his toes, his hands, his body, his head. Everything about him was made. He was made by God. We are made by God. Everything is there. Our substance is there. He says here, and in thy book, all my members are written. Every inch of you. Remember, God, Jesus said, even the very hair of your head are numbered. Remember, talking about the people who were summoned on the mount. We have to finish making the cups on those. Where he says that he said, why are you worrying? Why anxious? Why be anxious for tomorrow? Everything about us is known to God already. He takes time and care for every detail, every pore and cell in our skin. Everything about us is known to him. And in thy book, all my members are written, which in continuance were fashioned. And as yet there was none of them. Meaning, I was made even before I was made on this earth and seen on this earth. How precious also are thy thoughts unto me, O God. How great is the sum of them, O God. What's God thinking about us? If I should count them, what? What count what? God's thoughts are about us, humanity. If I should count them, hey, kitty. You okay? How you doing, my friend? You want to join us? Such a precious thing. If I should count them, what? The thoughts of God unto us. They are more in number than than the sand, right? How much does God love us? Look at the color of this cat. What a beautiful mocha latte color. And it's shedding like crazy, but look at the color of this cat. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at me. Look at the details. And he's always so curious. What a beautiful creature. So curious. That's why I love to see children too. They're so curious. So God says, how precious also are all thy thoughts unto me, O God. How great is the sum of them? If I should count them, your thoughts unto me, God, are more in number than the sand. When I awake, I am still with thee. Surely thou wilt slay the wicked, O God. So depart from me, ye therefore, ye bloody men, all the wicked and bad people. For they speak against thee wickedly, and thine enemies take thy name in vain, God. He's telling God as a friend, as a God. I'm talking to God. Do not I hate them, O Lord, that hate thee, you? Do I hate those that hate you, God? Well, God said, if you love me, keep my commandments. So therefore, those who hate God are the ones who violate God's commandments. And am not I grieved with those that rise up against thee? Am not angry with those who dishonor God's word and God's message? That's what I said. Men, women, let's be as God made us to be. And when they say hate, don't mean to hate to go kill and hurt and slam and do offensive violence against people. No, it means hate sin, but love the sinner, because all of us are sinners. Hate the sin that hurts and violates God's law, but love the sinner. Woo them back in love and bring them back. It's a nice vase. I like the watercolor. That's cool. We'll make some of those too one day. That's a different topic. Let's have it. He says, 22 of chapter 139 of Psalms, King James Version, Old Testament. I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them mine enemies, those that hate God and those that speak blasphemous things against God. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts, and see if there be any wicked way in me. Why? What does he want? What should we want also? We ask God the same part. We say, let's say it again. We want this. This will be a prayer to God. 23 and 24 should be our prayer to God. Search me, O God, and know my heart. Means check the heart, because the heart can be wicked. The heart can do a lot of wicked things. Passion, lust, violence, wickedness. People hurt you and say bad things against us. We want to just, and eye for eye, tooth for tooth. We want to, sometimes we want to leave. We're scared sometimes. We're angry. We have so many mixed up feelings in there. Like the fruits of the Spirit, right? Right? Oh no, the opposite when you're wicked and bad. Not the fruits of the Spirit, the bad fruits. We want the real fruits of the Spirit. Kindness, long-suffering, gentleness, temperance, forgiveness. The other ones, again, they're unfruitful fruits of the Spirit. Oh, wickedness, violence, fornication, murder, debate, wicked scoffer, vanity, all that stuff we don't want. So you'll learn later on, we will learn later on that God has a contrast of the characters. Because we should be doing character building right now. We need to see a contrast of our characters, who we are versus what God wants us to be. And we need to see ourselves so we can know ourselves as God asks us to be. The prayer, search me, O God, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. Help me and see if there be any wicked way in me, please. And lead me in the way of everlasting. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us this day our trespasses. Some people say sins, as we forgive those trespass against us, and lead us in the way, right? Lord's Prayer. Jesus came and told it to us. You finish it. Let's go back to second Samuel. Lead us in the way. Lord, lead us. Please, we need him. We need him. Joab is chastising David. If you join in the video, right now saying, what is he talking about? What's going on with David? And David's son Absalom was killed by his right-hand general, Joab, and the group when David said to spare his life. Absalom was not perfect. He did bad. But David didn't want him to die the way he did. But when David's crying, mourning for Absalom, his general is saying, what's wrong with you? You better stop this, okay? People leave you. They don't understand what's going on. They're confused. And I think that Joab knew a lot about David's secret dirty past. Some people say dirty laundry. And so he has some sway over David, because if he spoke and say what happened, the king could be killed. King could be killed, so he could be blackmailed. King could be black. King is like on a blackmail in many ways. They knew his path because he was supposed to be killed. Nathan rebuked David. I don't know if he rebuked him in front of the audience that were there, but God spared his life. Because the punishment for adultery and fornication back then was death. Be stoned to death. God spared his life. Have we done anything in our life that we've sinned and messed up with? And God still spared our life to be here today to watch and hear these videos and to watch and hear these things. Why does God love us so much? Emmanuel. We're living in the last days in a big controversy between Christ and Satan. While we desire the desire of ages, we desire Jesus Christ, and yet our sins are like scarlet, and God wants help to make it as white as snow. Why does God love us so much? David is giving us a little glimpse into what we should be like, and to be humble to God, and to ask for forgiveness, and to just to learn and to see. Take life as it is. So we're gonna let the story. Let the story continue. How many minutes is this so far now? 1 hour already? God's word can come at us fast. So David is saying, Joab is asking, David, what's wrong with you, man? You better stop it. Let's read to the end of the chapter, and I'll stop the video, and then I'll continue from there into the next one, because we're gonna upload it, because we had a memory in this video, this one, so we're gonna try to upload it. Let's see what we are. 19. After Joab just told him, David, stop crying for your son, and go back and tell the people what's happening, okay? Because 19. Joab. Let's hear.
Then the king arose and sat in the gate. And they told unto all the people, saying, Behold, the king doth sit in the gate. And all the people came before the king, for Israel had fled every man to his tent. And all the people were at strife throughout all the tribes of Israel, saying, The king saved us out of the hand of our enemies, and he delivered us out of the hand of the Philistines, and now he is fled out of the land for Absalom. And Absalom, whom we anointed over us, is dead in battle. Now therefore, why speak ye not a word of bringing the king back? And King David sent to Zadok and to Abiathar the priests, saying, Speak unto the elders of Judah, saying, Why are ye the last to bring the king back to his house, seeing the speech of all Israel is come to the king, even to his house?
Well, let me give you a quick recap. So, Absalom, David's son, undermined David, just and tried to take over the throne, tried to usurp the throne from David. Many people sided with him in Israel. Many people sided with David. So Absalom has one army, and David has the other part. And they all supposedly belong to the same family, children of Israel. Israel, the name given to them from Jacob having his name changed by God after wrestling with the angel, Jesus, to now become called Israel. So they have the tribes, they have the 12 sons of Jacob. And so they're called the children of Israel. So remember, from Reuben, you know, from Benjamin, all of them, you know, go to them and read the Old Testament to see what happened there. Judah, all of them, Simeon, Issachar, all these different names, from the wives of Rachel and Leah, and also their other wives and handmaids who they married also after. Who Jacob married after, and Jacob, an imperfect man himself, name once called a supplanter, then made called a son of God. You know, like say I'm firstborn in Israel, the name's changed. He wrestled with God and God gave him the victory over, you know. It's a very delicate love story of God and man. So amazing. But the children of Israel are saying, we sided with the enemy of the king, and usually that's called treason. So they're scared now. Are we going to be killed for what we did? Are we going to be destroyed for what we did and siding with the son of David against the thing? Because remember, many people take sides in this battle. Some for the right reason, some not. I mean, was David all perfect himself? No. Are there going to be disruption and dissension and people just grumbling and scoffers and people who don't like why you're governing and running? I mean, why do people have bodyguards? Why do kings have bodyguards? Why do presidents have bodyguards? You know, why do celebrities have bodyguards? Why do actors have bodyguards? Who are there? Why, if people are so loving and kind, why do we even have bodyguards? Why do we have police in this world? Why do we have people? Because there are people who hate good. I'm not saying all the celebrities and people and presidents and all the people are good, but there are people who are possessed by the devil and wickedness and have a spirit of ungodliness that want to destroy all God's people. The enemies that were just as in the time of the Bible and the Old Testament back then, we have the same enemies in our time right now. Right? Because we're battling the same devil and spirits. Our wrestle, our battle is not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. That spiritual wickedness was there from since the beginning of Satan in heaven, when he was cast out for his wickedness and how he corrupted the other angels. 1/3 was taken out of heaven with them. So those same spirits are here on this earth now. So kings need bodyguards. So do we. We have police and people patrolling the areas and civilians and cops and security, all this stuff here, because our time is the same as their time, and their time is the same as our time. It's just different overlay, different settings, or different scene. But it's the same thing. So we made a side. So now we had the recent elections. Democrats and Republicans in America. You have the left and the right, and liberals and conservatives. And now some people are hiding, some are fighting and gnashing of teeth, some are angry, some are vexed, some hate, some love the President Trump. Well, elected. And some hate Biden. Was the election stolen or not? And was it selected? I won't say too much on that part, but I'll just say that if we had the truth, that would have made a difference. But I'm saying some people are angry, and we'll see. I have a feeling there'll be a lot of uprising and unsettled and settling of scores to happen in the next few days. A lot of lives may be lost, a lot of battles. Something feels strange to happen in this world right now. Is there going to be a nuclear issue between Russia and other places? Is the Vatican have a hand in this? What about the Jesuits? Something is going to happen. I feel something big is coming. I don't know how, I don't know where, but something big seems imminent. They can bring another COVID thing back again. Another lockdown measure, another lying and thinking to the people and corruption, and our big business is going to get involved, and the media is going to get involved, celebrities. We're reading these stories here and we're happy, and it's like, some people is like, hey, it's a way to check out and just get back into something, so use the imagination. But I tell you, we cannot ignore the present. We cannot ignore the news. We should not be ignoring anything happening right now for the sake of just wanting to be focusing on dust in the past. They have to go together. What is happening in our times? What is happening back then? To move a whole group of people, the whole city to move and to split and to go over there. Is there a split in society right now? Is there a split? Is there polarization of things happening right now in the world? Are some on God's side and some happening on the other side? We're seeing people taking sides. There's only two going to be at the end. Those who are on God's side and those who are not. The Battle of Armageddon will soon take place. When? What date? I don't know. What about Sunday sacredness? What about Sabbath observance? There's going to be an issue between Sunday and Sabbath and Saturday, the 7th day of the week. The 1st and 7th is headed for a collision course. The seal of the 7th-day Sabbath is God's seal and mark of his authority. The seal of... Is that a donkey? Yeah, there's a donkey down there. There's a donkey. The only body have a donkey. All neighbors have it. Sunday sacredness is not of God. But those who are worshiping on Sunday, we love you the same. You know, just please continue to search the truth, search the scriptures, and don't be afraid to question and ask questions about what happened. God has the truth coming out. Sunday sacredness is not biblical. That's Satan's way to try to get over on God and try to usurp God's power and authority. As I must saying, like Absalom, while claiming to be doing the right thing, turned to be wicked and vile. Well, how does Satan trick 1/3 of the angels in heaven? How many is 1/3 of the angels in heaven? Trillions, billions, who knows? But he tricked them by sophistry and lying and deceiving and deceptions, saying that he's going to promise them a better life. Everything will be wonderful and praised. Everything will be wonderful and great. And also the Bible said, when you hear them talking about peace and safety, then comes sudden destruction as travail upon a woman with child or in childbirth. There are things that happen in the earth. So when it's looking all nice and common thing, be very careful. At the same time, look at this. Kitty, you have some beautiful eyes, girl. Yeah, your eyes are beautiful. Be careful also in gatherings and when you're in the malls and all these things. When you have gatherings, be careful because many people are angry at the world. And while these people may have bodyguards and security, those people in the malls and those people, innocent civilians, do not have that kind of security. We're at the mercy, sons, of just the elements and of where we can hide and stuff. Would there be any more mall shootings, mass shootings, casualties to happen? Seems to happen on the holiday time when everyone's gathering and festive. And in the colder seasons, they like to use fall to bring things to happen. Let's see. Just be careful, please. Be careful out there as you're there. Let me let the chapter finish off so I can get to the next one and let you see. Well, it's a big one. Let me hush and let it finish. But the people are saying we're scared. They got to get together. They have to be unity. We have to unite them. We have to unite them.
Ye are my brethren. Ye are my bones and my flesh. Wherefore then are ye the last to bring back the king? And say ye to Amasa, art thou not of my bone and of my flesh? God do so to me, and more also, if thou be not captain of the host before me continually in the room of Joab. And he bowed the heart of all the men of Judah, even as the heart of one man, so that they sent this word unto the king, Return thou, and all thy servants. So the king returned, and came to Jordan, and Judah came to Gilgal, to go to meet the king, to conduct the king over Jordan.
That's King David.
And Shimei the son of Gera, a Benjamite, which was of Bahurim, hasted and came down with the men of Judah to meet King David. And there were 1,000 men of Benjamin with him, and Ziba the servant of the house of Saul, and his 15 sons and his 20 servants with him. And they went over Jordan before the king. And there went over a ferry boat to carry over the king's household, and to do what he thought good. And Shimei the son of Gera fell down before the king, as he was come over Jordan, and said unto the king, Let not my lord impute iniquity unto me, neither do thou remember that which thy servant did perversely the day that my lord the king went out of Jerusalem, that the king should take it to his heart.
Forgive.
For thy servant doth know that I have sinned. Therefore, behold, I am come the first this day of all the house of Joseph, to go down to meet my lord the king.
Interesting.
But Abishai the son of Zeruiah answered and said, Shall not Shimei be put to death for this, because he cursed the Lord's anointed? And David said, What have I to do with you, ye sons of Zeruiah, that ye should this day be adversaries unto me? shall there any man be put to death this day in Israel?
Like
But do not I know that I am this day king over Israel?
one peace.
Therefore the king said unto Shimei, Thou shalt not die. And the king sware unto him.
That's mercy.
And Mephibosheth,
Saul.
the son of Saul, came down to meet the king, and had neither dressed his feet, nor trimmed his beard, nor washed his clothes, from the day the king departed until the day he came again in peace. And it came to pass, when he was come to Jerusalem to meet the king, that the king said unto him, Wherefore wentest not thou with me, Mephibosheth? And he answered, My lord, O king, my servant deceived me. For thy servant said, I will saddle me an ass, that I may ride thereon, and go to the king, because thy servant is lame. And he hath slandered thy servant unto my lord the king. But my lord the king is as an angel of God. Do therefore what is good in thine eyes. For all of my father's house were but dead men before my lord the king. Yet didst thou set thy servant among them that did eat at thine own table? What right therefore have I yet to cry any more unto the king? And the king said unto him, Why speakest thou any more of thy matters? I have said, Thou and Ziba divide the land. And Mephibosheth said unto the king, Yea, let him take all, for as much as my lord the king is come again in peace unto his own house. And Barzillai, the Gileadite, came down from Rogelim, and went over Jordan with the king to conduct him over Jordan. Now Barzillai was a very aged man, even 80 years old, and he had provided the king of sustenance while he lay at Mahanaim, for he was a very great man. And the king said unto Barzillai, Come thou over with me, and I will feed thee with me in Jerusalem. And Barzillai said unto the king, How long have I to live, that I should go up with the king unto Jerusalem? I am this day 80 years old.
That's 80.
And can I discern between good and evil? Can thy servant taste what I eat or what I drink? Can I hear any more the voice of singing men and singing women? Wherefore then should thy servant be yet a burden unto my lord the king? Thy servant will go a little way over Jordan with the king, and why should the king recompense it me with such a reward? Let thy servant, I pray thee, turn back again, that I may die in mine own city, and be buried by the grave of my father and of my mother. But behold thy servant, Chimham, let him go over with my lord the king, and do to him what shall seem good unto thee. And the king answered, Chimham shall go over with me, and I will do to him that which shall seem good unto thee. And whatsoever thou shalt require of me, that will I do for thee. And all the people went over Jordan. And when the king was come over, the king kissed Barzillai, and blessed him, and he returned unto his own place. Then the king went on to Gilgal, and Chimham went on with him. And all the people of Judah conducted the king, and also half the people of Israel. And behold, all the men of Israel came to the king, and said unto the king, Why have our brethren the men of Judah stolen thee away, and have brought the king and his household and all David's men with him over Jordan? And all the men of Judah answered the men of Israel, Because the king is near of kin to us, wherefore then be ye angry for this matter? Have we eaten at all of the king's cost, or hath he given us any gift? And the men of Israel answered the men of Judah, and said, We have 10 parts in the king, and we have also more right in David than ye. Why then did ye despise us, that our advice should not be first had in bringing back our king? And the words of the men of Judah were fiercer than the words of the men of Israel.
Okay, so here we got a problem. If you read all this, if you read and heard all this stuff I've read there, so a lot of names mentioned, Barzillai, Chimham, all these different names, and it's like, whoa. Some of the names will come into prominence later on. You'll hear about in the other parts of the story, Chronicles and First and Second Kings. Right now, it's a lot more to mention than the video would, suffice. There's a lot of stuff here mentioned, but there's a lot of issues here. But what we see happening from that rift, that rift of people taking polar out in the poles on different sides between Absalom and David, many of them knew what David did. Many of them didn't. But also the army and the men of Judah. Now you had to say that's 10 parts in David, men of Judah, and then there's only 2. They knew what was going on. Some knew there's starting to have a friction. But remember what God said. From what David did with Bathsheba, against Uriah, her husband, that he sadly had premeditated murder upon, even though it wasn't by his hands, literally, but the writing of the letter given by Uriah to Joab to have him killed in battle, sadly and tragically, was from David's hand. So God gave him a pronouncement that the sword shall not depart from his house. There's going to be rifts and trouble and drama. So you're seeing happen in his own home there, as well as into the rest of the realm of the kingdom. There's going to be problems. All from the act of doing this vile act of coveting what did not belong to him. Another man's wife. But remember, when you break one commandment, you break them all. And David made Uriah drunk. Remember the same David you just read about the Psalms about, made Uriah drunk. He slept with Bathsheba in adultery. They have an adulterous relationship. He had children there. He had other wives as well, including Abigail and other ones. But yet he's also valiantly fighting for God. He has a lot of juxtaposition of character, a lot of good and bad. There's a lot of stuff in there. I cannot explain every detail in this one video here. There's more. That's why this is another part of the series. There's more coming. Wow. What did David do? Who was David? Who were the kings? At the same time, we ask ourselves, could we have done the same thing? Would we have done the same thing? Are we the same people? How different are the people then than we are now? Are we polarized? What was the civil war that happened in America society? What about happening in the battle in the Asian countries and also in the Western countries? What about Germany? Huh? What about this conflicts? Are there going to be rifts and split in society going forward in time? What about the French Revolution? What about the stuff? What about World War I and II? All these things happen as part of the whole human realm. What about, remember, Egypt was taken over by Babylon, Babylon taken over by Medo-Persia, Medo-Persia taken over by the Greeks, Greeks taken over, and Greece taken over by the Romans, Romans split into all, taken by the Visigoths and also the other tribes, and now we are down into time now, where the toes of miry clay and iron, where we cannot unite in one way. There's always constant friction and fight and wars, rumors of wars everywhere. So we're right on time in God's word. And the old is still new, and new is was already known. So we're about to head into something. So it's just preparation. So though we may like to read this and say, I want to focus on this only, we cannot just focus on this only. It has to be all in all. You have to take a look. Right, Kitty? Yes, my friend. All right? So God bless you guys. We're going to pause this one here to get into the next one. Because now, even though David he's trying to bring the people are crying for the king to come back to the kingdom. David, come back. They want the king to come and rule over us. They want a king still. Remember what Samuel told them. King requires a lot of things. So David is trying to be king, but because of his actions, he's going to pay the price for disobedience to God. And yet God did not destroy him, as all of us need to be destroyed by disobeying God's law. He still spared a life. Why? Why did God spare his life? Because Solomon came out of David, and so did the rest of the Psalms. Why does God use us and care for us despite all how we mistreat him and abuse him and what we say and do and act? Why? Let's find out. Keep reading God's word. He'll tell you. God bless you. We'll catch up, okay? All right. Where's my little booty? Kitty, say bye. How you doing, my friend? You say bye to them? No, but it's a big video. Oh, I'm so sorry. At least let me do something nice. Let me see. Let me show your eyes. So come, show me your eyes. What a beautiful set of eyes, like blue eyes. Neighbor calls him Frankie. Beautiful you are. God bless. All right, take care.